You need to understand credit. You need to understand your credit bureau. You have to make sure what factors are involved when you're applying for any forms of credit, because at some point in your life, you will definitely need to rely on credit. You have to have a good credit bureau score. Today we're going to discuss your credit score. Today we're going to discuss your credit bureau. Today we're going to discuss your credit bureau, and we're going to also tie that into business lending. And we're also going to tie that in a little bit to what you need to do to be approved for business lending as well, because it's really important. Both tie in together, and they're both very important to make sure that you're set up for success in your life in the future, because you're either going to work for somebody in your life or you're going to be self-employed. So there's a 50% chance you're going to be self-employed. So it's better to listen. I would highly recommend to listen to the end to ensure you get the full perspective on both. When you apply for a credit product, there are 5 factors that are looked at. They're called the 5 C's of credit. The first one is character. The second one is collateral. The third one is capacity. The fourth one is... Did I just say 4? I don't even know. There's 5 things that are looked at when you apply for something. Okay, there's 5 factors that go into the application. And whether you try to hide them or not, they will come out. They will come out. The truth always comes out when it comes to credit. So there's no real workaround or loopholes or hacks to having a good credit score. If you have bad credit, you can't just do something or find a way around it to bring your credit score up. There's no way around it besides the one and only way, which is rebuilding your credit. You can't buy your way out of it. The only thing you can do is dispute your way out of it if it's a mistake. If there's some delinquencies put on your credit bureau, if some company said that they lent you money and you never paid them and that was a mistake, that's the only way. You can dispute that, and then there'll be an investigation done and they'll find out that it was the company's fault, provided it was, and then the credit bureau will be adjusted and it'll be removed off there and your point score will jump right up. Character relates to your behaviors, your credit behaviors. And how we find out character with the credit report is looking at the credit report. When a credit bureau is pulled, there's a character that is displayed. There's a character that is displayed, and it shows the payment history, the payment patterns of all your credit facilities. So if you're paying everything on time, that means you have good character. Your character is good. The first C is met. Now, I'm really gonna just scratch the surface here with this explanation because it's something that could be talked about for a long time. But I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in the time frame that I'm given for this video. So the first C is character. Character is the behaviors on the credit report. Phone companies, even though they're not lending you any money, they do report on the credit bureau. And it does have an impact on your score if you miss phone payments, your cell payments, your internet service provider payments. Whenever those are missed, that company reports it on the bureau. So you got to be mindful of that and make sure that you don't miss those payments as well. The best way to make sure your character is kept in good shape is by setting up for automatic payments. Because a lot of the times it's not a money issue, it's not a financial issue, it's just a timing issue. Life gets in the way. Our first priority isn't to make sure we go and make payments to our facilities, especially if we have so many of them. We're going to forget sometimes. So the best way to avoid that is to set up for automatic payments. It really does protect you because it makes sure the payment is made on time. And if something ever happens where that payment was not made on time, that is considered a bank or a service provider error, and they will make sure that they report to the bureau indicating that it was some sort of error, and they'll have that delinquency removed off of the credit bureau. Every month, the lending facilities indicate a score each month on the credit bureau by placing a number. It's like a numerical score each month that you get, and the numbers go from 1 to 9. 1 is the best, 9 is the worst. If you're making an on-time payment, there is a 1 put on your credit bureau for that facility. So that means your character is good. And if there's 1s across the board, that means you have good character. All the credit cards that you have, all the lending facilities that you have, whatever they may be, a credit card, a credit line, a mortgage, they're all reporting to the credit bureau, right? So you're scored there each month, and the score goes from 1 to 9. 1 meaning the best, 9 meaning the worst. If there's 1s across the board, that means your credit bureau is in check. And that's one of the main factors. That's actually 80% of the battle. Like if you got that intact, you're most likely going to be approved for credit. The second C of credit is character. Character is very important also. Not as important as the credit bureau, but it's also important. The character is the story that you bring. When you apply for a lending facility, there's always a bunch of questions that are required from the lender. It's kind of like, you feel kind of interrogated sometimes when you reach out and apply for credit, and the reason for that is because they want to know your story. They want to, there's a thing called due diligence. They want to make sure that you are the right fit for this credit facility and you are going to manage it well. Just because you have good credit doesn't mean that you're 100% guaranteed approved for more credit. Your story needs to be told and understood, and it has to make sense with respect to integrity. Capital is your savings. How much money do you have to fall back on? Savings is so important. Sometimes if you have strong savings, it could override the credit decision if your credit bureau is in bad shape. That's how crucial it is to have savings, because it makes sense. You're covered. If you default, or if you lose your job, or if something happens and you can't pay that anymore, you do have savings. You do have your own capital to make sure that your debts are covered, and the bank feels more comfortable about that approval. What letter are we on? I forget. Okay, next probably is capacity. That's what it is, capacity. So capacity is like, what's your existing lending portfolio look like, and how much of that is maxed out. So if you have $100,000 in existing lending and the utilization is very low, meaning that it's not maxed out, it's not even 25% maxed out, it's under 25%. So if you have $100,000, let's say in a credit line, and the balance is under $25,000, that's not bad. That's good. That's showing that your capacity is not maxed out. But if you have $100,000 in lending and everything's maxed out, and now you're coming to ask for more, that doesn't look good. It's not going to work in your favor, and you're probably going to hear something with regards to a decision, and you're probably not going to like the answer that you're going to get. And the last and final C of them all is called collateral. Collateral is basically you putting something up front for that loan. So if I don't pay you for that loan, if I don't pay you back for that loan, then here you go. You can take my car, you can take my house. That's what you can put up as collateral for certain things. Sometimes you have to put up collateral. For example, if you're purchasing a home, a property, residential property, or commercial property, you do need to put up collateral. We'll hold the property as collateral. If you're fit on all those 5 C's, then you're in good shape to get credit. You're in good shape to get future lending, right? So just to summarize, the first C is credit bureau. How's your credit bureau? Is it in good shape? Are you paying things on time? That will work towards your favor. The second C is character. Does the story make sense? Third C is capital, which is basically savings. The fourth C is capacity. How does all your existing credit look? Is it well utilized? Is it being managed respectively, or is it all maxed out? And the fifth C is credit bureau. How does your credit bureau report look from 1 to 9 on each of your credit facilities? 1 being the best score, 9 being the worst score.